Good evening, the people of Britain, and welcome to some common sense. Everything's going wrong at the moment, obviously. We've got Brexit, but that's for another day. COVID is the main one, the coronavirus and restrictions. Boris and his helpers have come up with 3 tiers. I've come up with a better solution, and this is for free. So if you enjoy this, please like, share and subscribe. Share mainly. Let's get this out there. So, if you're in Liverpool, you currently can't go to the gym, but if you're in Lancashire, you can go to the gym, even though both of them are in Tier 1, which is the highest level that you can have currently for restrictions. However, it's the other way around. If you want to go to cafes or whatever, I don't get it. It's bonkers. It should be the same for everyone. So, I've come up with a 5-point plan, or a 5-tier system, very quickly, very easily, and without any hassle whatsoever. And it should be done after we have a mini lockdown for the whole country. Main reason being that it's got out of hand, the hospital's getting full, we're not even at the full point of winter yet, where you get other illnesses like pneumonia, etc, coming in. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that people can get to the hospital if they need to get to the hospital, and get treatment rather than being full of people with COVID. Plus, we need to make sure as well that we get out of this out of the way so that we can have a proper Christmas. Because let's be honest, most businesses, their main thing that they do is trading period is Christmas. And if you can't do Christmas properly because we're in lockdown, because it's all gone Pete Tong, because we've not had a quick lockdown now, then it is going to be absolutely terrible for everyone. All the businesses all over the country who rely on Christmas, including shops and pubs and restaurants and everything. It's just going to go really, really badly for everyone, and that will be the end of them. Now, I can't see what's going on here because that's not working, but I'm not bothered about that, I'll be honest with you. So, we're going to have, if I was Prime Minister anyway, we would have a 2-week lockdown, maybe 3. And what that would do is, it takes 2 to 3 weeks for people to get ill. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for them to get in hospital, 2 to 3 weeks for them to end up in intensive care. So you reduce that over the period of time, and then when it builds up again, that sees through to January, and then in January you could then probably think of another lockdown, but it's always quiet that time of year anyway, so that's not a major issue. So that's thing number 1 that we do. Right, then when we come back, we have rules that everyone understands, and it's the same for everyone. It doesn't matter where you are, it's the same for everyone. And we start off, because you work your way up to number 1, you don't start at number 1 and work your way down. So, tier 5. Now, tier 5 is going to be basically what it was when we come back from lockdown number 1, and that is the rule of 6, face masks and coverings, social distancing in shops and venues. They would be fined or closed if they didn't impose the rules. So basically what it was, this needs tweaking, and it says underneath, this is something I knocked up in a couple of hours. It's not perfect, but makes more sense than the 3-tier system we currently have. So that is tier 5. So then what we do is we go to tier 4. Now tier 4 is exactly the same, but this time we are mixing homes or gardens, no spectator sports, and where possible work from home. Now all these things do come up with a thing where you have this lagging. Oh, for God's sake. Not why it's not working. Just bear with me a second, because this is genius, I'll be honest with you. Oh no, we're not lagging. Anyway, so So tier 4, so it's no mixing in homes or gardens, no spectator sports, work from home, plus the rule of 6, social distancing, blah 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 blah. You get the idea. So every tier you add an extra bit to the tier. So obviously next we're going to go to tier 3, because that's what follows tiers 4, working our way to number 1. So tier 3 is close universities, pubs, restaurants, gyms and sports venues completely. So there is no sports games, there is no nothing, no gyms, no restaurants, no pubs. They're gone for tier 3. Same everywhere, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're in tier 3, that's what happens. Then we go to tier 2. Now tier 2 will be, let me just get it. I'm doing 3 things at once here. It's very difficult for me, so bear with me. Tier 2 is closed schools and non-essential retail and businesses. Again, everywhere that's shut because that tier is relevant to them will get some compensation of some sorts. Not necessarily furlough, but something similar, like we did in March. I know it's going to cost money, but the whole world's in debt at the minute, so just go with it. It's the best thing to do. So schools, non-essential shops are shut, as are the unis, pubs, restaurants, gyms and sport venues. There's no mixing homes or gardens, no spectator sports. You work from home. The rule of 6, you've got to wear face masks and coverings, blah blah blah. So you get the idea. And then we go to tier 1. Now tier 1 is the most serious tier, and this is where it becomes national. If we get to tier 1, that's it. National lockdown until things get better. So you've got 5 chances of sorting out your area. If your area is doing badly, and you know people who are doing badly and whatever, then you can sort them out and have a chat with them and say, oi, well, give your head a wobble, mate. You ruin it for the rest of us. So there you go, 5 tiers. Everything's the same for everyone. You can't have tier 1, or tier 3 as it's called at the minute, which is completely the wrong way around. You can't have it so that it's different in different areas. As I said when Boris was saying this, it makes no sense. It's going to cause problems. It's going to cause a lot of issues. But Boris seems intent on doing it. We need a lockdown for a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, complete lockdown for the whole country. Yes, I know it's not fair on some parts of the country, but just it's got to be the same for everyone. And then what we do is we open up and we say, right, we're back open again, but if you want to stay open, if you want to keep your freedom and keep doing what you want to do, you've got to follow these rules. And these are the rules that we're doing from day 1. For example, when the shops opened after lockdown 1, people were allowed in the shops without masks. People behind the counters were allowed to not work without masks or face coverings. And then a few weeks in, if you went into a shop, you had to wear a face covering. Well, why didn't we do that from the beginning if it was that important? And then a few weeks after that, the staff had to wear face coverings. We're like, well, hang on a minute, what's going on there? That makes no sense. So what you do is, we have a reset. We do 2-3 weeks, everywhere shut. When it opens, these are the rules. This is what you're going to do. And if you don't do it, we'll go back to shutting again. And that way, we get Christmas, we get December, we might even be able to spend it with family. Who knows? And then in January, February, when it's quiet anyway, if we need to do another 2-3 week thing, we can do it, and it won't necessarily badly affect the economy. But anyway, that's my ideas. It's common sense in my head. If I was Prime Minister, that's what I'd be going for. But I mean, let's be honest, he's getting trouble from everyone at the minute, except from the opposition leader, who kind of agrees with everything and then has a little moan about it when it doesn't work. And has only recently come up with his idea, which is basically have a 2-week lockdown. So yeah, there you go then. So if you enjoyed this, please like, share and subscribe. It's not very well put together, but let's be honest, I've done this very quickly. I've not got loads of people helping me. I'm doing it all on my own, and I've come up with this myself. So if you think it's a good idea, share, put it on Facebook, do what you want. It doesn't really matter. The thing is, we need to get people on board with the fact that what we've got at the minute is useless. And what we need to do is have a reset, stop it all, come back again in 2-3 weeks time and say, right, okay then, we're all in tier 4, this is the rules, If you're not careful, you'll end up in tier 2 and tier 1. We're back in lockdown again, so keep yourselves in check. Doesn't matter who you are, young, old, whatever, just follow the rules. Simples. Anyway, that's it for me. That ends this Party Political broadcast for the Common Sense Party, because that's what we talk. We talk common sense. And I'll leave you with the image of our common sense tier system. Lockdown for tier 1 and tier 5, as much freedom as we can get until we get a cure. Obviously tier 6 is let's get back to normal and just get on with life. So that's it. Vote for us. Share, like, subscribe.